What is going on, guys? It's Blue Devil with Overclock.net. Today we're going to take a look at the X299 Taichi from AsRock. So this is an X299 motherboard, supports NVIDIA SLI and AMD's Crossfire with RGB LED support as well too. Optane memory ready. Again, the X299's chipset and the Core X series. So going around the box here, you do see that it does support Intel's Wi-Fi 802.11ac, so it's got Wi-Fi built on board, which is awesome. Has a 13-phase power with Dr. MOS, 8-layer PCB for better DDR4 performance. So the more layers, so better the traces actually can get that information going. It has RGB LED, looks like on the south bridge, and then it does have Optane memory ready. So pretty good for Optane support. I won't be using Optane. I'll actually be opting to use one of the triple M.2 ports with my Samsung NVMe 950 Pro. So again, this is some hyper base clock engine, so additional external base clock generator, which provides a wider range of frequencies and more precise clock waveforms. So for us overclockers, this is phenomenal, which means you can do a little bit of base clock overclocking too to get that extra little bit of horsepower that we all are craving. So just judging from the box here, you get 8 DIMM slots, 4 on each side, and then you get your 2066 socket, followed by 4 full PCI Express 16X slots with the RGB south bridge here. So, well, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed so that we can take a look at what's inside the box, and then we'll throw it in a system. So, all right, opening the box, has 2 flaps up here. Go ahead and pop that top there. Boxception here, so pull this right on out. Alright, so very nicely packaged here. Open this up. Inside the box, you are greeted with 2 Wi-Fi adapters, an I/O. This is a high bandwidth by 3 SLI bridge, and then this, I suppose, is a 2-way SLI bridge, again high bandwidth. 2 SATA, 2 more SATA, looks like a screw, driver disc. I would always download the newest ones. Taichi. Oh, you get a postcard. Send somebody a postcard, huh? I don't know where you're going, but motherboard manual. Another manual, another screw, the main event. All right. So here's the motherboard here. Again, we have our 4 DIMM slots here, 2066 slot, and then 4 more DIMM slots. Right on the back I/O, you'll see that it has Intel Gigabit Ethernet support. And then a plethora of SATA connectors. I guess what I'm not seeing right now is any U.2 port, which is actually kind of interesting. I personally would rather run one of the M.2 slots, so I think the U.2 port's kind of silly in most of the time, but I'd rather run an M.2 connection, NVMe connection as well too. Just judging by down here, you do get a debug LED, lots and lots of support for SATA. Right angle USB 3.0, which is nice. Would like to see a 24 pin that was right angle, but can't complain too much. 8-pin EPS, and then followed by over here. So let's get these zip ties. First time I actually had a motherboard zip tied to the phone to make sure the packing was actually really good. So I'm impressed. Wow. Alright, going through the rear I/O, you get your 8-channel audio, Gigabit Ethernet, looks like there's 2 of them, USB Type-C port, you get a USB 3.0, 4 more USB 3.0, this looks to be a CMOS reset button, a BIOS flashing button, which is really cool to see. You see that on some ASUS motherboards, your 802.11ac Wi-Fi, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and your PS2 port. So pretty cool. It's pretty a full-featured board, so I'm pretty impressed with it. We're gonna see how far this thing clocks. Aesthetic-wise, I absolutely love this motherboard. Great looking motherboard. I was afraid that the clockwork design was gonna be too white, but it's more monochrome, which is more my style. But it's just a beautifully laid out board. You can see the phases right in there. Just a great looking board. Can't wait to get it in the system. Alright, so the rig is built. It's been running for about a week and a half now, so been running really smooth. I settled on an overclock of 4.6 gigahertz. DDR4 has been running at 3200, no problem. The motherboard supports up to 4400 plus with overclocking. The great monochrome design, it plays really good in almost any rig choice, color combination. You basically, you name it, it'll mix right in, so nice design. Triple M.2 support with NVMe or Ultra support is nice. You can actually run a RAID configuration between the two M.2 drives or three M.2 drives. The debug LED was nice while building, so you can figure out what kind of problem code it was. RGB support was good. The Southbridge had RGB support, as well as there's two connections, one at the top, one at the bottom, as far as hooking up any RGB headers. So audio quality was good. I didn't notice any like little hiccups, little hissing or anything like that. So I'm not a real huge audiophile myself, but audio quality was good. I have nothing to complain about there. Dual gigabit LAN support was present, so that's awesome. Again, I just pretty much used the onboard 802.11 AC, which was awesome as well too, to have a full ATX board that include a Wi-Fi chip on it already, so that's pretty cool. As far as the construction of the motherboard, this is where it pretty much impressed me the most. In terms of build construction of the board, phenomenal. 65 amp power chokes, Nichicon 12K caps were actually used, 8-layer PCB. Everything about this board was great. Overclocking was good. Support for base clock overclocking. As far as SLI crossfire support, you are looking at a little bit of a restriction depending on what kind of CPU you use. And what I mean by that is if you're running a 44-lane CPU, it would run in 16X and 16X in a 2-way configuration. 3-way, 8, 16, 8. In a 28-lane CPU, 16, 8 in a 2-way, 8X, 8X, 8X in a 3-way. And then if you're running a 16 lane CPU, which again, that kind of defeats the point of the X299 architecture. We will run an 8x4 in just 2-way. 3-way is not supported. So as far as cons, I really don't feel that it actually has any cons. It fits in with any build that I could actually think of. Really had a good time with this motherboard. I really can't find anything wrong with it. So for me, it gets a 5 out of 5 flames for me. First time dealing with AsRock, and I'm thoroughly impressed. Great job, highly recommended. Alright guys, that's going to conclude my review of the X299 Taichi motherboard from AsRock. Again, I can't not recommend this motherboard enough. It is a great motherboard. Anyone looking with a X299 motherboard with a base price of about $270, if you catch your deals right now, you're going to be able to get a 120 gigabyte hard drive from HP for free if you buy this from Newegg right now. So that's just some of the deals I saw right now. So other than that, be sure to like and subscribe this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.